If you do like those stupid Facebook questions, like when you go, if you could take £10 million now or go back to when you were 10 years old, I'm like, well, yeah, it'd be fun to go back to when I was 10 years old, but I'll take the £10 million now because I know exactly how the fuck I'd spend that money rather than giving it to 10-year-old me. It'd be a stupid idea.
Do you mean like 10 million, like go back to 10 years old, like current day, so I'm 10 years old in 2022, or do you mean like 10 years old back in like 2001? Because if it's back in 2001 and I've got 10 million pounds, I think there's limited damage I could do with it. If I'm 10 million in 2022, probably 10-year-old me would buy some fucking picture of an ape or something. You know, it's like, that's not buying the use of the 10 million. So yeah, I think I would probably agree with you, man. I'd probably just take the 10 million.
Well, because look, 10 million. That's. I don't know if you've had this conversation with anyone, but I've had the Euro Millions debate with people because I try and put a spin on it, which is you win 180 million pounds, 190 million pounds, okay, but you're only allowed to buy one thing, okay? Because I want you to be creative with the question. I don't want you to give me the same bollocks of I'd buy a house, I'd buy a car, I'd do all this. Okay, cool. Every fucker says the same thing, which is I'd invest it.
Yeah.
You've got 180 million fucking pounds. How much do you need? How much more money do you need?
Exactly. If I had 180 million pounds, I'd probably buy a golf course.
Just buy a golf course. What would you? Okay, let's follow this rabbit. What would you call it?
I'd buy like a bitchin' golf course. No, I'd buy an already established one. Fuck like building it from the ground up.
Oh really? Okay.
I'd take like a really good golf course and just say.
Just it's mine now.
Yeah, bitch, that's mine.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
I'd let other people play on it. I wouldn't just be
Okay.
like, oh, this is my own private like thing and no one's allowed in. Put big fucking walls up. But I'd like to have something to be like, yeah, this is mine, and you just go there anytime I want. Fucking own the gaff.
Would you do the rock star thing though? So don't tell anyone. Rock up to the course in just whatever the fuck you like, and say, yeah, so I've got a round schedule today, and you have Jeeves. Sorry, sir. What makes you think we're going to let you in here? And you go, because I own the thing, bitch!
No, controversially, I actually like wearing golf clothes. I think they're very comfortable. Like, so a lot of people don't have a problem with like golf dress code, but I find the clothes, like if I could wear anything to play around a golf, I would wear golf clothes anyway.
Okay.
So rolling up in the like Hawaiian shirt, buttoned down to like the very last button with like a big gold medallion and like khaki shorts. I mean, it would be a cool moment to be like, bitch, I own this place, but at the same time, you've then got to play 18 holes dressed like that. I don't know if the juice is worth a squeeze.
Oh, I mean, just the once, maybe, but then again...
Yeah, maybe once.
But then again, I feel like, again, if you ask that question to a lot of this generation, they're thinking to themselves, right, what's the answer I can give that's the most Snapchatable? As opposed to, like, what would just be cool for you, man? Like I always said, and this is the dumbest answer to the question I can possibly give, I win the Euro Millions, tomorrow I go to the bank, I get 50 grand in £5 notes in a bag, I find my original boss and I beat them to death with it, and I give them the bag as compensation because it's 50 grand. They're not going to say no. And I can literally say, I beat you with my wallet, bitch. Now who's amounted to nothing?
So that's pretty Snapchatable, man.
Well, I was 16 and the boss was like, the boss was telling me like you should turn up to work on time and you shouldn't turn up to work without, you know, your shirt tucked in and all this other bollocks. You know, I totally disagreed with it at the time. Now I'm old, so yeah, maybe I should have just fucking turned up when I was supposed to be paid to turn up and wear the dress code that I was supposed to. But 16-year-old me was pissed off hearing that shit, let me tell you. Anyways, sorry, I could ask you stupid questions all day. 50 Cent or Kanye? Is that still the 50 Cent? No, sorry, Kanye over 50 Cent. I asked it better the first time. Fuck. Is it still Kanye over 50 Cent for you?
Yes. I think like Kanye West first albums are better than anything 50 Cent has done. And I feel like neither of them are making particularly good music now, so I'd rather just base it on who has had like the best like career pre the fall off, I guess. And yeah, yeah, Late Registration's like one of my favorite hip hop albums ever, and College Dropouts obviously incredible. So yeah, I think probably Kanye, and as well just for like services to music, like Kanye is an incredible producer as well. So yeah, for me it's still Kanye over 50. I mean, I think the guy's a fuckhead or whatever, but if you're talking about like actual musical talent, then yeah, it's got to be Kanye.
Well, that leads me to a question. Side note: college dropout got me through my 2 weeks work experience at McDonald's, and I'll be forever grateful to Kanye West for that. Fucking hell, kids! If you ever want to learn what the value of a real job is, work at Mackie D's with no pay for 2 weeks, and I guarantee you'll never want to. You'll want a proper job after that. Anyway, I've been trying to drill down on some pretty intricate topics in this conversation so far. Still haven't quite gotten you to say you're the greatest to have ever done it and never will do it, and then everyone should basically just give up now and just give you the title and just let that be that. Not going to get you to do that, which is absolutely fine. I do want to kind of get into your influences though before we conclude this conversation, because I think one of the interesting things to talk about is where we derive our inspiration from. And again, listening back to some of your battles, it's a trip listening to some of the things that you reference, the things you bring up. MMA seems to be something that is on the tip of a lot of battlers' tongues at the moment, because I think they want to again add that contemporary element, and boxing doesn't seem to have that same sort of cadence with the battle rap scene these days, because there's Joshua, Fury, and then no one can name another boxer, so it doesn't quite have that same I'm a boxing fan, so I could, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, and I'm gonna bang you out like Tyson Fury. If you named any other boxer, they just, who? He's a boxer. Like, oh, okay, fair enough. How are you planning on getting into the MMA bars anytime soon? Are you planning on dropping a McGregor bar, or perhaps a Prahechka? I forget his name.
I can't pronounce the second name. Jiri Prochaska?
Yes.
Jiri.
Jiri, yes. The samurai-inspired. He's from the Czech Republic, I believe.
Yeah, Jiri Violence. Yeah, no, I don't have anything written about. I don't know. I've written an MMA bar in quite some time. I think the last combat sports bar or athlete I referenced was Lomachenko, actually. But yeah, I don't have anything on the slate for MMA bars as of yet. To be quite frank, like I watch a lot less of it than I used to. So that tends to be like what I take my subject matter from, like kind of what I'm enjoying, like at the time.
Is there a reason why your MMA interest is, just out of benign curiosity, is there a reason why the MMA interest has dropped off? Because I, again, weirdly enough, am kind of there with you as far as the MMA interest. It's still there, but it's just, I'm not really that hyped to see anyone at the moment.
I think a lot of things happened that kind of like killed my interest in it. Just the way that they were kind of treating the fighters, and to be frank, like the way that Dana White treats his fighters, especially, like really just doesn't really sit very well with me.
So you're not in his camp where they get a Performance Institute and they get more money than they would on the independent circuit, and they're listen, they don't need to worry about getting sponsors. Okay, there's this company called Reebok. Okay, big deal. We're going to put their brand on, and we're going to give them some money. Obviously, we get paid too, but we're not going to talk about that. That doesn't sit well with you at all, no?
No, I mean,
no, you're a decent human being, basically, is what you're saying. I see how it is.
No, specifically, on the issue of like fighter pay, I think it's pretty awful, the percentage of their gross income that they pass on to their athletes. And I know they make the argument that their pay structure is flatter than boxing, so the people at the bottom of an MMA card will earn more than the people at the bottom of like a boxing card, which to an extent, like, yeah, that is true, but it's still far less than you could afford to pay them. You could still maintain a flat structure and just pay the people at the bottom more, but I don't know, maybe that's my working class socialist roots showing or whatever. But,
You're going to be preaching to a choir on that one, because I've always been of the same opinion, which is if someone wants to say you're earning enough as it is, my question is, well, why are you earning exponentially more than you were this time last year? There can't be a disparity between the classes if we're all in it together, as the mantra was during COVID. And yeah, you're right. In UFC, the line seems to be, if you take the whole spectrum into consideration, actually what we do is quite fair. And you go, right, but then no, we're not doing that. We're taking your organization into account, and your organization pays the fighters 20% of the income the company generates. Yeah. And they're what generate the income. So in what way does that make sense from an incentive perspective? It's I kind of get that.
And also, like, obviously, like, there are other like organizations like out there. You watch like Bellator or Cage Warriors or whatever, One Championship FC. But to be frank, I don't find their product like particularly good.
Well, Bellator is coming along. It's just it's still not. It's still in its what I would call the TNA phase, which is it's an alternative, but it's an alternative that no one's really excited about.
They have a good like roster. Like, they're actual like fighters that they have signed to them. They have like solid fighters, but yeah, just something about like the product is just like, I don't know if it's the commentary team or I don't know, like, and I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot a bit doing like Chael versus Tito, and it's just like,
oh man,
at a certain point, it's like, what? It's what are you, right? Like, as an organization, what is it are you trying to do? Are you trying to like do these money fights between the big names of yesteryear that are just horrible fights to what, like, the level in that fight is like abysmal,